No offense, but some of you guys are dumb as hell. All right, and it's okay because most people, when they want to get into fitness or nutrition or whatever it is, they're pretty dumb. So I just want to save you guys some time by debunking certain things that a lot of people think are true. Scientifically speaking, and by experience, I can tell you these things are they don't apply. I think I'm gonna have seven on this list. So number one, when I was a personal trainer, this came up a lot. Spot reduction does not work. For those that don't know, spot reduction is when you want to lose fat in a particular area. I can't tell you how many times I was a trainer, get a new prospective client. They were like, "How do I lose weight right here?" You can't lose weight right there. You have to lose weight everywhere. All right? If your fat is distributed, if your extra mass is distributed in a slightly not cool way, that's genetic. But in terms of losing extra weight in one particular area, that's not possible. Okay, your body loses weight as a whole. So you cannot pick and choose. So this, I'm gonna do crunches and lose weight in my lower stomach. No. That's not how it works. Okay? Spot reduction ain't real. Don't waste your time on that, okay? Not a thing. Next, some people like to take no pain, no gain seriously. They think if they're not ah, during a workout that they're not actually working. That's also not true. All right. And this is a big thing that ticked me off with my clients. And it was like, oh, it hurts. I'm like, oh, if it hurts, we have to stop right fucking now. You need to go to a doctor. Stop right now. And then no, not like that. Oh, do you mean you're in discomfort? Yes. Okay, that's cool. That's a totally different thing. If you're in pain, stop what the fuck you're doing right then and there. Stop exercising. Go see a doctor, okay? Pain is not good when you work out. It's not. Discomfort, I mean, you kind of need that if you're gonna, you know, bump up to the next level. You kind of need that. Pain, you don't need any of that shit. Try to prevent pain as much as you possibly can, right? No pain, no gain. That probably applies more to mental pain. That's fine. If you have mental pain, that's totally fine. That's what most gym goers run off of. All right, so that's fine. Physical pain, no, 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 no. Stop. Okay. Okay. Another thing. Cardio is the only way to lose weight. Not true. A lot of people wanna run for 50 years on the treadmill. They want to use a stairmaster. They want to do blah 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 to lose weight. That's not the best way. All right. Obviously, if you want to run for your respiratory health and all that, cardiorespiratory endurance, all that kind of stuff, yes, please do that. That is great for you. You will literally live longer if you jog or run. But if your goal is simply to lose weight, all you need is a caloric deficit. That is it. You can lose weight sitting on the damn couch. I wouldn't recommend that, but you can do that scientifically. So don't think you have to do cardio to lose weight. That's not true. I barely do shit. All I do is jump rope once a week. And that's not good, but you can lose weight. You can control your weight without having to do cardio. I recommend cardio for health purposes, but in terms of just losing weight, you don't need cardio at all. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Here's my favorite one. This one killed me when I was a personal trainer. When women would tell me, I don't want to get too bulky, resistance training makes you look like a man. If only these women knew how much, and I'm not saying women in general, I'm saying these dumb women. Or, yeah, men never complain about that. I don't want to get too bulky. Yeah, fucking right. So most women will come and say, I don't want to lift anything more than 2 pounds. Now I'll just turn to a big man overnight. I fucking wish it worked that way. I really wish. It's really hard to explain to these people, these women, that you cannot get bulky overnight. You cannot get bulky by accident. You need to put in so much work to do that. It really pissed me off when they said this because it would be super disrespectful to all these people who are working tirelessly to get big. They're like, oh, I'll accidentally become that way if I lift this 5 pound dumbbell. No way. Are you fucking kidding me? First of all, women do not have. Mother Nature is a sexist bitch, right? Women literally cannot become as strong as men without excessive, excessive work and way more testosterone. Just by default, a man is going to be stronger than a woman. There are obvious exceptions, but if you have fraternal twins, the guy twin is going to be way stronger than the female with no work at all. So, women, please do resistance training. You will thank yourself later, okay? Everyone needs it. When you're 60 years old and you can't, stand up straight because you never ever, worked out your body at all, you're gonna regret it, okay? It's not gonna make you bulky. If you want to get bulky, you can. You just have to work a lot harder than a guy would. But just, doing a push-up is not gonna make you look like Arnold overnight. I wish it worked that way, but it just doesn't work that way. And for a woman, that is damn near impossible. So please stop with this bullshit. Please stop. Next myth busted is you need to sweat to have a good workout. That's also not true. What sweating can be determined many different ways. If you're working out and it's hot, you're gonna sweat if you're doing easy stuff. Just because you are sweating doesn't mean you're doing stuff that's great. I mean, if you're sweating, you're probably doing stuff that's fairly challenging to you. Let's be real. But just because you don't sweat does not mean that you're not putting in the work. For example, I'm on my way to lifting 405 pounds for my deadlift PR. My highest was 395 right during COVID, but then I changed and started doing more calisthenics, so that kind of dropped. But now I'm working my way back up, and God, I lost a lot of strength doing that. So a couple weeks ago, my highest at the time was 345 for the deadlift, right? Sweated like crazy during that. Literally yesterday, 375 I'm up to now. I don't think I sweat at all during all that stuff. So there's obviously more work being done when I'm lifting more, but I didn't sweat. Why is that? Could be a bunch of different factors. Doesn't really matter. Point is, I moved more weight, did more work, but I didn't sweat. All right, it's just a bunch of environmental factors. It could be mental factors as well. It could just be the rest I took, any different things. So just because you don't sweat doesn't mean you didn't put work in. If you do sweat, you probably put work in, not necessarily though. But if you don't sweat, it doesn't matter. You can still put in work. Okay. Here's one that's related to nutrition. Eating foods that are high in fat make you fat. That's not true. I mean, here's the thing. So you have carbohydrates, you have protein, and you have fat. 3 macronutrients. Carbohydrates, 4 calories per gram. Protein, 4 calories per gram. Fat, 9 calories per gram. So if you ate literally the same amount of grams in fat rather than protein or carbohydrates, yeah, you would gain more calories in the process. But just because you're eating foods high in fat, such as nuts, you're not going to become fat. Again, it comes down to the calories. You can only eat protein, you can only eat carbohydrates, and if the calories end up being more than what your body needs, you are going to gain extra weight, and therefore be fat. There's also a diet that you can have all fat and not become fat, as long as you keep track of your calories. I believe that's what the ketogenic diet is. I've never been on that, but I believe that's prioritizing fat like crazy so that you are more satiated and want to eat less. I believe that's how that works. But the point is because a food is high in fat does not mean you're going to become fat. That's not what it is. And I wish we could rename the macronutrients into carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, because that would really, really stop making people associate that macronutrient with fat, which is extra unwanted body mass. But whatever. Let's see. I think I got one more on my list here. Oh, this is a good one too. I said the women thinking being bulky is easy is my favorite. This is my second favorite. People thinking that crunches and sit-ups are the best. Listen, any movement you want to do over and over is going to benefit you in that way, right? But in terms of core strength, getting them abs, first of all, you need a low body fat for that. So it doesn't matter what you do. If your body fat's not low, you can't see shit. But in terms of gaining, strength and muscle in the core, sit-ups and crunches, they can be effective. I think they're kind of a waste of movement, really, but they can be effective. But there are more effective things you can do, such as powerlifting. You squat, you deadlift. If you do big compound movements, you're using your core, because if your core is out there, you're going to die during the movement. So you can literally do those compound movements and never do a crunch in your life and have pretty decent abdominal muscles, provided that you have a low enough body fat. What you can also do is, if you do like that kind of thing, you can do leg raises as well. That's better. And the reason I say better is because crunches and sit-ups, they kind of bend your spine a lot, which if you don't have load on them, you're not putting weight on yourself when you're doing these crunches and sit-ups, it's not that dangerous really. But once you add load to a bent spine, you can fuck yourself up. So it's ideal to not bend your spine. So just doing leg raises or anti-rotational movements. For example, you want to hold a Pallof press, which would be you're grabbing a cable, getting away from the cable anchor point and kind of holding, and you not letting the cable pull you, you holding it this way, basically resisting the rotation, will help your core and keep your spine straight and safe. That would be better. Another thing would be planking is also very helpful. I know it's seen as kind of a beginner exercise for teenagers and women or whatever, but planking is honestly pretty good as well. Push-ups are great because they're moving planks essentially. If you have a buddy with you when you're working out, a great thing to do is a warded plank, which is essentially you are in plank position and your buddy kind of pushes you at your core, at your legs, just kind of pushes you so that you have to resist that outside motion, thereby strengthening your core in that position. So that would be much better than doing sit-ups or crunches. You can do those things, but they're better exercises that get you a better bang for your buck. So that's what I'd recommend. So guys, take that info and be less dumb when you're doing fitness stuff, because there's so much shit that people do that's a waste of fucking time or just wrong. So another quick thing, actually, you may see guys in the gym do some overhead pressing. They got the bar behind their neck. You can technically do that. Technically, can I speak? You can do that. However, when your shoulder has weight and it's in this position, you risk impingement, which is a fancy way of saying you'll fuck up the joint. So I wouldn't recommend that. That's a quick thing. And mixed grip deadlifts are dangerous because you might rip open your biceps. So just be very careful. Do it once if you're gonna do a PR or something, but please don't do that just for sets. I mean, you do what you want, but I knew a guy who ripped his bicep right open, because that shit can happen. So just be careful. Anyway, guys, don't be dumb in the gym or else you'll die.